day of the road trip for the Mariners. A beautiful Wednesday afternoon here in West Sacramento. Mariners and the Athletics for the final time until September. Well, the Mariners trying to sweep aside their division foes. Starting lineup today for the Mariners. J.P. Crawford leading things off. And then you have Julio Randy and Josh Naylor. Rosarena DHing today, getting the day off of his legs. That means Rob Refsnyder's in left field with Victor Robles in right field, who had last night his first 3-hit game since the end of 2024. Pareda does the catching today with Garver beginning the game on the bench. He was behind home plate in last night's game. They'll be facing off against a veteran lefty in Jeffrey Springs, who overall numbers have been okay, pretty similar to what he did last year overall for Springs.
Yes, and the team has found ways to win with him on the mound, but as for him, he's 0-7 with an ERA approaching 6 over his last 11 starts, but he has been very good against the Mariners over his career. He has allowed 2 runs or less in all 6 starts against Seattle. In regards to what the Mariners are up against with Springs out on the hill, four-seam fastball, slider, changeup, sweeper, and cutter. The lefties that are remaining in this lineup will see more of his slider. And between that four-seamer and the slider, it's going to be one of those 2 pitches 80% of the time.
It works every time. Here's what it looks like behind Springs today. Bolte is in center field. He can cover some ground. McNeil, the veteran, at second base once again. Geloff has kind of moved around a little bit this year. We saw him in center field earlier this year because of injuries. He remains at third base. And the longtime Texas Ranger, Jonah Heim, now with the Athletics. Again, he does the catching. J.P. Crawford leading things off for the Mariners today. And his first pitch is in play. It clanks off of Kurtz's glove. Springs to the bag, not in time. JP legs it out. It caromed off of Kurtz to McNeil, and JP is safe.
A couple of clanks in one play. So off of the glove there, Kurtz, a nice recovery by McNeil, but on the run, Springs is not able to handle it. McNeil had to put a lot of mustard on this throw.
Base runner right away. Crawford is aboard for Julio. An 11-game on base streak for Julio. In fact, he owns 2 of the 3 longest on base streaks this season for the Mariners, including the longest one, 19-gamer back in April. First pitch missing inside. Mariners playing an early getaway day game today. A noon start, an hour earlier than usual. Maybe a bit of a shorter day for the guys, but a chance to get home earlier.
Absolutely. It was crazy because, at 11:30, I was thinking, I got an hour and a half until first pitch. It's like, no, I don't. As you know, I incorrectly judged the weather and had like long johns and everything else, thinking about the Seattle weather, and that was a bad idea. It's a bad idea.
I will say it has not been as warm as we thought it would be here in Sacramento. We had crazy winds in game 1. The Mariners took advantage of that. They hit 4 homers that matched a season high. A little overcast here today.
No, but you wisely wore short sleeves. I'm wearing, long sleeves with long underwear underneath it. It's 75, 80 degrees.
A wave and a miss on that changeup from Springs. When you think about Jeffrey Springs, you think about the changeup.
Yeah.
That is his go-to pitch, especially to the right-handers. Julio takes off the plate 2-2. The Mariners have won the first 2 games here against the A's, after the A's back in April took 2 out of 3 against the Mariners in Seattle. And a chance today for a sweep and to fly home in first place.
And it would be their 3rd straight winning road trip as well.
3-2. As Julio backs away. Well, the Mariners are trying to find some more consistency. They began this road trip dropping 2 out of 3 in Kansas City, coming off a series win prior to that to finish the homestand against the White Sox. Out to left field, and this ball caught chest high by Soderstrom. Julio hit it hard, but to the wrong spot. There is out number 1.
That was that changeup again, and as you said, he hit that hard, 105 miles per hour, and he's been doing that a lot lately, and that's why he's been on this tear of 11 straight games reaching base.
1 out, 1 on for Arozarena. Randy reaching base last night in game 2 and game 1. He was fantastic. A couple of extra base hits, a double and a homer. 3 hits in total in game 1 of the series. Batting close to 300. And in his last 18 games, on basing close to 450. This is up the middle, a humpback liner, and McNeil not fooling anybody. I mean,
the sun's not even shining. It's overcast. You can't pretend.
That was the softest line drive. I mean, come on.
I'm not even sure the sun was where he was pretending it was. Can't blame a guy for trying.
Trying to set up a chance for a double play to end the inning, but he didn't fool anybody. Naylor takes low for ball 1. Back-to-back multi-hit games for Naylor in this series. Having a nice month of May after a slow start this year, batting over 300 in May.
Yeah, really against these A's all season long, he's been really good.
Now the A's very strategic with their rotation in this series. They called up Gage Jump, one of their top prospects, a left-handed starting pitcher, to pitch last night. They moved Jeffrey Springs around in the rotation, another lefty to pitch today. They bumped Luis Severino, a righty, out of this series.
He got bumped twice.
This is on the ground. McNeil scampering, able to get to it. A long throw. He elects to throw it to first base and airmails it. And this is into the dugout, and it gives Naylor second.
J.P. Crawford getting a decent jump. I'm not sure why he didn't go to second base, though. I mean, they had him. He elects to go the long way, thinking, all right, Josh Naylor, not one of the fastest guys in the league. Doesn't work out.
Well, he had a reason, but that was a poor decision, as it turns out. It looked like a pretty clear-cut underhand flip over there to second for the out to end the inning, but instead the inning continues. 2 in scoring position for Refsnyder.
Because this is, such a small ballpark, usually you can hear everything, and I didn't hear anything from Hernandez, his double play partner, in regards to where he should go or what he should do. Communication, key.
So the Mariners with a chance right away here in the first. Second and third, 2 outs. Refsnyder on base a few times last night. He was hit twice and also had a base hit. This is only the 3rd time this year the Mariners are facing lefties in back-to-back games. So for the right-hand hitting part of the platoon, a chance to play consecutive games for the first time in a while.
Get your rhythm, get your timing. And that was what was so impressive about last night, is the right-handed bats, and particularly the right-handed platoon bats, were so effective.
Refsnyder ahead of the count, 2-1. Well, the obvious weakness offensively for the Mariners this year has been against lefties. The A's trying to exploit that last night. As it turned out, did not work. Mariners winning that game, scoring 4 runs early.
And they did it without a home run. I mean, who are you? I don't even know who you are right now, Mariners.
Refsnyder takes a strike. That was not particularly close. CQC Tracer shows this should have been challenged. There were a couple in this at-bat, I think, that were borderline at best.
Well, in addition to getting your timing there at the plate, if you're Rob Refsnyder and you don't have a whole lot of at-bats, I mean, something like using an ABS challenge early is a tall task.
Three-two. Hammered down to left field. This ball is gone. Rob Refsnyder with the bolt to left. And it's 3-0 Mariners right away. That's a good no challenge.
I want to hit. Good for Rob Refsnyder.
On base 3 times yesterday, and now a first inning 3-run homer.
Yeah, and that's just got to feel good if you're Rob Refsnyder. You know, he's been brought in to do exactly this. Hit left-handed pitching, struggled to do it so far this season, hitting just around 100. It gives the Mariners an early lead. Changeup, by the way.
That brings up Victor Robles. If you go back to game 1, the Mariners had a chance to bounce into a double play, or should I say the A's had a chance to turn a double play to end the inning, but McNeil sailed the throw and Naylor was safe, and it led to 2 homers and 6 runs. And McNeil with a poor decision and a worse throw in the first inning here to keep the inning alive to bring up Refsnyder, and he whacks a 3-run homer. So 2 poor throws in this series from McNeil has helped lead to 9 runs for the Mariners.
You can see him walking around second base. He's like, how do I dig a hole here and climb into it? I mean, that's just the worst thing as a fielder. You know, whenever you make a mistake, you're just hoping that, you know, your team is able to get out of that inning without damage. And twice in this series, the Mariners have really made the Athletics pay.
Well, good on the Mariners taking advantage of some mistakes. Oh, 2. That is on the corner. Strike 3 called. Robles caught looking, but damage dealt by Rob Refsnyder, and the Mariners, they take an early 3-0 lead.
Like an actual lawyer.
An A's lineup that has been held to a combined 3 runs over the last 2 games. Carlos Cortez leading things off in front of Kurtz, and then the power of Langoliers DHing today. Tyler Soderstrom, multiple hits last night, including a home run. A's have been good offensively for much of this year, both in terms of the average, the on base, and the power. They are facing today Logan Gilbert, who makes start number 12. In fact, he is bookending this week-long road trip for the Mariners. Started game 1 in Kansas City, and now the finale here in Sacramento.
That was a good start in Kansas City. 5 2/3 innings, a couple of hits, 0 runs, had 6 punch-outs, but walked away with a no decision.
It's a strike in the upper outside corner there. Carlos Cortez leading things off. He is one of 5 batters who will swing left-handed today against Gilbert. Gilbert facing the A's for the 2nd time this year. Saw the Athletics back in April in T-Mobile Park. Only went 4 innings that day. Not his best start. 3 runs on twice as many hits. But historically has pitched well against the Athletics. The 1-2. Right back up the middle, right over Gilbert into center field. Chuck and duck that time around, and Cortes is aboard.
This was a slider that came back to Cortes. They were trying to backdoor him. Wasn't able to get it to that outside edge, and still it's lined. Instead, I should say, it's lined into center field.
Leadoff man reaching in front of Nick Kurtz, whose remarkable on-base streak came to a close last night, courtesy of the Mariners. 48 straight games Kurtz had reached base. It tied the all-time athletic single-season franchise record. Tied with Mark McGwire, who set the record back in 1996. He was held off the base paths for just the 4th time this year. Honestly, I don't know what's more impressive, the fact that it was only the 4th time he had not reached base all season, or that it was the first time that he had not reached base since March 31st.
It's incredible. Well, here's something else. I mean, the Mariners have done an excellent job against him. I mean, if there's one bat in this Athletics lineup, you know, you're going to circle. It's him.
Ball, the ball, the catcher is challenging.
Pareda thinks this is a strike. Just missing. It is a ball.
Ball's confirmed. Seattle has 1 challenge remaining.
ABS powered by T-Mobile, so 1 challenge left for the Mariners the rest of the way. Two-one. Yeah, the thing about the on-base streak this year for Kurtz is that it has created so much attention for his skill set to reach base. You kind of lose sight of the fact that has tremendous power as well. Close to 40 home runs last year. A swing and a miss at 97 up.
First series against the Mariners, he had 4 hits. 2 of them were home runs. But so far in this series, you know, we talked about the walk that extended it in game 1 of this series. They snapped the streak in game 2, but so far the Mariners have him hitless.
Swing and a miss. 98 that time on the top shelf, and Kurtz goes down swinging.
98 perfectly placed right there at the top of the zone, and Kurtz has got so much power in that swing, but it's a big swing. Just a little bit tardy trying to get there.
Boy, nice to see 98 out of Logan Gilbert early today.
I mentioned it was warm.
Warm but not hot.
No.
To right field, Robles closing on this, lays out, and Victor Robles makes the catch. Well, we've seen that before. He takes a hit away from Langoliers.
This is just excellent. It's great that he's right-handed, the ball tailing away from him towards the line, but he's got the glove on that side, and they say, if you're going to dive down the line in right field or left field, you better be 99% sure that you're going to catch it. Fantastic effort and job right there by Robles.
Here is Soderstrom with 2 outs. Home run yesterday, his 6th this year. Gilbert working around a leadoff single from Carlos Cortes. A fastball velo definitely up for Gilbert here early on today.
Yeah, 97 there. The velo is up and the locations are good too. Right there on the black.
Gilbert ahead, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now the A's this year, top 10 in baseball in average and on base and in slugging. And yet about middle of the pack this season in runs per game. They are waiting for a couple of guys to get hot, or at least become more to their career norms, and Soderstrom is one of them. It's been a slow first couple of months for him. And that does not help his case. A changeup freezes Soderstrom. Second strikeout from Logan Gilbert, who gets a couple of punch-outs and some help from Victor Robles in right field. A scoreless first inning to begin Gilbert's day. Mariners take a 3-0 lead at the top of the second inning. Rob Refsnyder, a 3-run homer in the first for the Mariners. Cole Young leads it off. Springs a first pitch strike. Now, Springs this year tough on lefties and righties in terms of the average. The big difference has been the power. The vast majority of the home runs he's given up this year, including the one today, have come to right-handed hitters. 9 of the 12 he's surrendered, in fact. So he's been able to limit the power better against lefties.
Coming in today at 11 home runs and 11 starts, 2 on the changeup. He allows his 3rd on the changeup in that first inning to Refsnyder.
Young strikes out to the Ford Sports Desk. Brad.
Well, Aaron, as you know, the Mariners offense have looked really good this series here in Sacramento and doing it differently, right? Game 1, 4 home runs, 9 runs. Yesterday, a little bit different. 11 hits to score the 4 runs. Guys getting on, getting them over, getting them in. A couple of sacrifice flies as well. Dan Wilson saying, you know, I really look back, or he really looks back to the 9th inning Sunday in Kansas City. Spreda chops one to the shortstop here. And when they scored 3 runs off of Urseg, their closer, really good high leverage closer arm. Used to be an A, by the way. But when they scored 3 there, they got some momentum and they got some juice going, and it's really carried over here in Sacramento. And again, doing it differently, he likes that as well.
Well, ideally, you can score in a variety of ways. The Mariners won't deviate probably too much from their identity, which is take a walk, hit a bomb, right?
Exactly,
but
yes.
It is nice every once in a while when you can see manufacturing some runs, finding some other ways.
Oh, they won a game without the home run. They're now 4-15 when they don't hit a home run. And last night was the first time they've done that since April 12th. So, yes, it's very much part of their identity, but good to see, and good to see against a lefty as well.
And I would imagine in today's era, most teams probably have a losing record when they don't hit a home run. Like that is probably par for the course. But for the Mariners, maybe more extreme, just given the fact that there are a few teams that rely on the homer more than the Mariners. They are consistently at the very top of baseball in terms of percentage of runs scored thanks to the home run ball.
Yeah, I'm with Dan. I liked all the little things that you saw within the at-bats.
Emerson takes 2-2. A's have been a pretty clean team defensively this year. But 3 unearned runs in that first inning, thanks to the throwing error from McNeil.
And that's the other thing, even with the home runs, so many of these games that the Mariners have been playing in have been close games. And this is something we've talked about, is those little things become so much more glaring. But it's nice to see the Mariners taking advantage of those little things.
A strikeout there to Colt Emerson. The side retired in order by Springs. Mariners take a 3-0 lead to the bottom of the second. Longtime Texas Ranger, now Athletic, Jonah Heim leads things off. Heim won a World Series in '23 with the Rangers. It was a career year for Heim. He was an all-star that year, won a Gold Glove as well. He began this year in Atlanta as the Braves backup catcher, but was eventually designated for assignment and traded to the Athletics, a team he actually made his major league debut with back in 2020. One of the players that he was traded with to the Rangers was, remember Chris Davis with a K? Great slugger for the Athletics for all those years. 48 home runs back in 2018. Led the majors that season. 1-2 coming from Gilbert. This is poked into shallow right. Robles is able to make another highlight reel catch in right field. Man, is he on fire to begin today.
Worry about getting the grass stains out later. Great jump. You know, Jonah Heim telegraphs this swing. It was kind of tail out, hands out, so he knew it wasn't hit very hard, so he was able to get a good read, and it wasn't right in front of him. It wasn't that line drive that's so hard to read in front of him. It's kind of in the gap, but a great jump from Robles. Hit stealer.
Leadoff man sat down with some help. Here is Bolte, who fouls it away. Yeah, when I think back to Chris Davis of the A's, not of the Orioles, that is, he had that incredible run where for 4 straight years he hit 247 for 4 years in a row. He had a nice peak with the Athletics many years ago in the Coliseum days. Did not go so well with him with the Rangers, but you think back to those A's teams in some of the final years before it really got bad in the Coliseum. They had some great players, the Athletics, who have gone on to be great players for other teams. And now the A's coming out of their rebuild and have a new crop of a young core they feel they can build around when they get to Las Vegas. The 0-2.
I was seeing pictures online of the stadium, and it's really starting to come together. I mean, you can nearly walk the concourses.
Seriously?
Yeah.
There's that
concrete,
much built?
There's concrete. A lot of concrete. A lot of rebar.
So if you squint, you can see the concourse.
Yes.
The splitter gets a swing and a miss to Bolte. Third strikeout for Gilbert. Well, the first Mariners fireworks night of the season is Friday. Don't miss this epic 90s show after the Mariners take on the Diamondbacks, presented by T-Mobile and Warm 106.9. Mariners.com/fireworks to get your tickets and see the complete firework lineup. Here's McNeil.
Are you a big Vegas guy?
I've only been one time.
Are you serious? One time. One time.
I'm being remarkably serious. So I guess that answers your question.
Yeah. I'm not a gambler, so I just not anything. I mean, not even the slots but I love shows. I love the shows in Vegas, and I totally want to see something at the Sphere.
Oh, that does. Yes, that
just
looks awesome.
Yeah. That's my Vegas jam.
I do follow a guy on Instagram who only does restaurant Vegas reviews. So I am pretty excited for that once the Mariners start traveling to Vegas.
What are the parameters? Meat? Meat and meat?
It looks pretty okay. Let's put it that way.
It used to be back in the day, like Vegas had just great food specials. You know, you could go and there was like these all-you-can-eat buffets. Or they wanted your money, so like they were willing to feed you for a very low price. It's very hard to find those things. So maybe I want this guy's information as well. Maybe I should follow him.
Well, you might have to pay for the food if that's what you're upset about.
Oh, yeah.
It might cost something. There's a swing and a miss. Fourth strikeout from Logan Gilbert, and after 2, the Mariners have the lead. Desperado drive of the game last night against the lefties. Refsnyder, Garver, and Robles all got the job done and then some.
And it continues today with Rob Refsnyder. I mean, that's the difference in today's ball game. His 3-run shot there in the first inning. And I know, I mean, this is a guy that's trying. So much pressure on him to hit lefties. And so for him to leave the yard against Springs' changeup. And he came into this hitting 105 against left-handed pitching. I mean, this was what he was brought in to do. So happy that he found success today to start this game.
It's back to the top of the order for the Mariners to begin the 3rd inning. J.P. Crawford leading things off. Thinking about a bunt, pulling back, and gets ahead.
Geloff moving towards the grass. Might believe him.
Well, for Springs, his first start this year against the Mariners. Last year, he faced the M's 4 times and allowed a grand total of 4 runs over those 4 starts. The Mariners hit 154 against Springs last season. He didn't walk many at all. He had more strikeouts than innings pitched. This is right back up the middle for a firm base hit. J.P. Crawford, a multi-hit day already. Left on left knock for the Mariners shortstop.
A really good adjustment with this in this at bat. The pitch before was a slider, kind of pulled off of it, and then he comes back with the fastball. Now remember, Springs doesn't have incredible velo. In fact, he's one of the slowest in the league in regards to his 4-seam fastball. I think it's like 91.4 miles per hour. He's third. So you have to just tell yourself, like, you don't have to cheat. You don't have to try to open up early. Stay closed. You've got time.
Julio, a hard line out to left field his first time up. Oh, 2. Eight home runs in a single month, the high water mark for Julio. He's got a chance to get there here in the month of May. 7 home runs, 7 of his 9. Goes fishing after this changeup, goes down swinging, and there is one away. Fourth strikeout for Springs. Here's Randy. Randy getting a DH day. Randy last year playing in all but 2 games. Played in 160 games, and this year has played in every game so far for the Mariners. It's one thing that can kind of be overlooked. Maybe there was some Kyle Seager to this during his tenure with the Mariners, where he's out there every day, year after year after year. You kind of get used to it. And Randy's similar. All of a sudden you look up and you say, well, he's playing in every game.
Yeah, and it does start to wear on you just a little bit. And this is a difficult outfield. We talked about how bouncy it is. But I was talking to Perry Hill about it. He says it's really uneven too. It's hard to walk across. It's hard to run against. So it's a good day. It's a good place for him to get off his feet.
5 strikeouts for Springs. He is settled in by and large after that 3-run homer to Refsnyder in the first inning. Has allowed just 1 base runner since. That's the Crawford single. He's at first. Here is Naylor. Good take off the plate for ball 1. Swinging bunt up the first base line. Springs bare hand and a shovel over to first base in time. Pretty nice play there by Jeffrey Springs. He works around a leadoff single.
Welcome back to West Sacramento. Brad Adam with you at the Ford Sports Desk. So after today's game, the Mariners return home. off day tomorrow, then open a 6-game homestand. The first three against the Arizona Diamondbacks, one of the hottest teams in all of baseball. They've won 10 of 12. They're second in the wild card in the NL. They're averaging 6 runs a game those last 12 games, and they've got some guys who are heating up. We know Ketel Marte very well, former Mariner, a 10-game hit streak, hitting over 517 RBI. Recently named Player of the Week in the National League. And Corbin Carroll from Lakeside, he's got a 14-game on-base streak, hitting over 400, leading the NL with a 964 OPS. The bullpen's been solid as well. Our old friend Paul Sewald closing things out for the D-backs. He's got 13 saves. So it looks really impressive. But, guys, as you look at the numbers, they won 10 of 12, but all 12 of those games against Colorado and San Francisco, the 2 worst records in the National League. So, yes, they are producing, but they're beating teams they should beat. They're rolling right now for sure. It'll be a fun series and a nice homecoming for a lot of familiar faces.
No doubt. 8 triples this year for Corbin Carroll. Low sinking liner, tricky hop there. JP's got it. Strong throw to first, and Geloff retired. Nice play by Crawford.
Yeah, Geloff's got nice wheels, but this one gets to JP in a hurry. He absorbs it really well and fires a strike over to Josh Naylor at first base.
One down for Hernandez. I think we're past a statute of limitations on a Paul Sewald story at this point. When Paul was with the Mariners and we were in San Diego a number of years ago, the Mariners had a kind of a mid-afternoon game, and a couple of us went out to dinner after the game, and then there's a lot of great ice cream shops in downtown area by the hotel and the ballpark. So we went and we got some ice cream. It was a nice night in San Diego. And who's in line all by himself at the same ice cream shop but Mariners closer Paul Sewald? And everybody loves Paul, so we start talking. He's a couple of spots in line ahead of us, and Paul orders what had to have been the largest banana split on the West Coast that you can buy. Just 2-hand, 10-pound, just absolutely enormous. And
what are they serving this thing? Like a platter?
It couldn't have been any bigger. And Paul just downed the whole thing. Just absolutely crushed it. 5,000 calorie banana split. And we're looking at each other, Gary Hill and myself, my ice cream partner, and we're thinking, I hope Paul's not pitching tomorrow. It's a day game. And sure enough, wouldn't you know it, it's a close game late. And who comes out to get the final 3 outs in the San Diego heat? And this is off Emerson's glove on a hot shot. 1 out and 1 on. Hernandez aboard for the top of the order. But Paul Sewald, he comes out of the bullpen in the San Diego sun and just deals. There was no hangover from the 10-pound banana split. Everything was fine, but we were pretty white knuckling watching him pitch with, I would say, probably enough ice cream for a family of 5 the night before. It was very impressive takedown.
That's how you stay young. Ice cream. What'd you and Gary get? What's your?
It was not nearly as impressive, both from a volume standpoint or
you guys could have split the banana split.
Paul was the only person that month who ate the entire thing by himself. But what a fun Mariner Paul Sewald, and his career arc really, you can't talk about his career without talking about his time in Seattle. It really helped.
He was the first, really.
He was, and he helped make the Mariners in that era, and the Mariners helped make him as well. It really turned his career around.
It was kind of the first, Mariners pitching lab success stories.
A little more routine this time for Victor Robles. Cortez is out. Victor can keep his feet this time on the catch.
That's my third L9 of the game.
Two outs and a man aboard for Nick Kurtz. I think Kurtz got an on-base streak heckle in his home ballpark. 1-0. His on-base streak ending last night at 48 games, matching an all-time franchise record. I guess that wasn't good enough for that guy.
No. Somehow expected him to catch Ted Williams, and anything short of 84 games was just going to be a disappointment. Can't make some people happy, Aaron.
Especially in a day game in West Sacramento. 1-2. He leads the majors in on base by quite a bit, actually, ahead of Yordan Alvarez and James Wood. Mariners will be seeing Wood in the Nationals in the next road trip, and Riley Green as well. Of the Tigers. Big swing and a miss on a splitter, fooled badly, and Gilbert strikes him out for the second time. By the Washington Traffic Safety Commission. Seatbelts save lives. Remember to always buckle up when you drive. And by PIMCO, the insurance you get. Learn more at PIMCO.com. Rob Refsnyder on the ground. Belt tie hop to Hernandez. One pitch from Springs and one away. He sat down 8 of the last 9 he's faced since the Refsnyder home run in the first inning. He's settled in. Here comes Victor Robles. Springs is now in his 9th big league season. He had Tommy John back in April of 23. It cost him nearly all of that season and the following year in 2024. So with that in mind, last season was a big year for him. Not only his first year with the new team in the Athletics, but his first full season back from elbow surgery. And he pitched well overall. Made 30 starts, an ERA just over 4. The real difference from him since Tommy John, he just has not had the swing and miss like he had before. Now today might not be the best day to bring that up. He has 5 strikeouts over 3 innings, but overall the swing and miss has not been quite the same since Tommy John.
But you saw his first pitch strikes, 10 of 15 so far, and that's how you get the early contact. That second inning, he needed just 9 pitches, and he had 2 strikeouts within that inning. He's doing a good job of mixing it up against the Mariners today. We talked about the changeup that left the yard, but he's got strikeouts on the slider, the sweeper, four-seam fastball as well.
Just foul. But when you think about Victor Robles' doubles, especially that first year when he came over after being let go by the Nationals, his doubles are as much doubles down the line as any hitter in the game practically. So many of them just inside either first or third. Robles, another strikeout. How about a message from Papa Murphy's?
Introducing Papa's Picks. Enjoy a large 4-cheese or double shredded pepperoni take and bake pizza, and starting at $9.99. Pick one up today at Papa Murphy's.
Here's Cole Young, 2 outs, nobody on. In play, McNeil can't get to it. Ticks off his glove into right field. The Mariners have a 2-out base hit.
On the pool side, Cole Young gets the barrel out to the slider.
Two outs and a man aboard for Johnny Pareda, Mariners catcher. Takes down and away for ball 1. 2 balls, no strikes to Pareda. Gets it to 3-0. Well, we haven't seen many 3-ball counts today from Springs.
No, and Johnny Pareda swung at the very first pitch he saw, ended up grounding out to short. I like the idea that he was going to watch a few this time.
Only the 3rd 3-ball count from Springs, that is. 3-1. Mariners getting all 3 runs today in the first inning. Refsnyder's 3-run homer. Springs has given up just 2 base hits since then, both singles. Crawford and Cole Young use at first base with 2 outs. Ball 4. That was very close. Up and in. And Pareda draws a walk. EQC Tracer has it as a ball. Not by much. Good take. First walk today from Springs. That keeps the inning alive for Cole Emerson.
Good swing, good sign there. Anytime you take his fastball and you foul it straight back, that means your timing's good. Timing's good on the fastball. Just missed it high-low.
RBI chance here for Emerson. Cracks this down the line, right field, base hit. Young is on his way home. This finds the corner in right field. Paredes, he's steaming to the plate, and he scores standing. Colt Emerson stands up at third. It's a 2-run triple for Colt Emerson. First big league triple for the 20-year-old.
This is on a sweeper and a really nice piece of hitting. Keeps that front side in, doesn't open up early on the sweeper. It's so slow, and he does exactly what you should with that pitch. Left it up, pulls it 79 miles per hour into the corner. 2 outs, lefty on lefty violence. Great to see from Colt Emerson. He's completed his major league cycle.
Yes, he has.
Yeah, there you go.
In pretty quick time.
Well, we talked about it when he had his 4-hit, 3-double game. I mean, that right there is who he is. He is line-to-line, line drive hitter. I was saying the pitch before on the fastball, it was perfect. His timing was good. Then he throws him the off-speed pitch. Because he's in a good position on the fastball, he's able to adjust.
Boy, right when it looked like Springs had settled in, the Mariners with 2 outs get a single, a walk, and then a 2-run triple. And it's a 5-0 game in the 4th inning.
Johnny Pareda, the catcher, scoring from first base, 2 outs. He was able to get a great jump and probably now getting oxygen in the dugout.
We're going to see Garver later now?
Yeah. It's like basketball where you tap your jersey.
This is not an easy triples ballpark, too. Emerson found the right spot. Ball and 2 strikes to Crawford. He's looking for his 3rd hit today. Mariners have 5 hits. The big one, the Refsnyder triple, but the Mariners have some lefty hits against Springs, the southpaw. Crawford with 2. Young, a lefty hitter with a knock, and now Emerson, another lefty bat with a hit.
Yep. Well, he's not a hard thrower, so those swing decisions don't come early, and that's what you have to keep reminding yourself as a left-handed hitter when you're facing a guy like Springs.
JP goes down swinging. Cole Emerson's first big league triple drives in 2. The Mariners now lead at 5-0. Logan Gilbert in a good groove in this one early. 9 outs and mixing it up a little bit.
And it's good to see that you've got so many of these pitches in the strike zone and that they are mishitting. But the four-seamer, the split, he's been really good at keeping these A's hitters off balance.
Strike one to Langoliers. He had a base hit taken away and a diving catch by Victor Robles in the first inning.
Langoliers is one of those ones that has had a lot of success against these Mariners, and they have to be careful against him. Good to see the Mariners build on their lead, now leading at 5-0, but Shea's got 13 home runs against Seattle, his most against any opponent.
Having an all-star first half. Outside of Cal Raleigh, he has been the best home run hitting catcher in recent seasons. 2-1. Off the end of the bat, and it's past Young into right field.
Speaking of Cal, he's just started to do some light work in Arizona. They've allowed him to play light catch, so that's good as he continues to make his way back. Miss him in so many ways.
Absolutely. The sooner they can get Cal Raleigh back, the better, obviously. Good to see he's beginning some form of baseball activity now. Here is Soderstrom.
And one of the things that's hard to play catch up with as a catcher is, receiving the baseball. I know that seems like a silly thing, but that's a huge timing thing, and I'm sure that they don't want him to make any really crazy movements. So I'm sort of wondering, they start him back on a machine where they can dictate where that ball is going, but to get him back where he's able to receive balls, and then kind of the last step would be for him to, catch bullpens and things like that, where things are under less control.
Is it to receive them well from a framing standpoint, or from a you're just catching it well standpoint?
D, all of the above.
Okay.
I mean,
see?
Well, there's some more things in there.
Okay, all right. There's at least one I didn't name, I guess.
But yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's the acoustics of the strike when you're trying to catch that low strike. And even though they have ABS, you want to present those pitches and make them use those challenges. It's still there, and I'm so happy that, Major League Baseball went with this system with the ABS versus having it all the time. So the catcher position still very much still in play.
We see a lot of pitches every night that could be challenged that are not. And that's either because the team's out of challenges or they just don't challenge.
Yeah.
There's some situations where
Yep.
a team just is not willing to risk a challenge.
Well, and some of that's because the catcher made it look really good. It's like, well, I thought that was away, but no, I
Sure.
guess maybe it wasn't, because the catcher framed it, or as I like to say, presented it so well. And there was this talk kind of early this season that maybe catchers would make things look worse than they really were to try to get to take strikes out of the strike zone to maybe get teams to use their ABS challenges. But then you're playing with fire, because all of a sudden now the umpire behind you is calling them balls instead of strikes. So I haven't seen much of that. Again, there was chat about it, but I haven't seen catchers trying to take balls out of the strike zone.
Soderstrom draws a walk. First two-man reach, a single, and now ball 4 to Soderstrom. First walk today from Logan Gilbert. Moreta out to the mound before Jonah Heim bats. Fairly long at bat there from Soderstrom. 7 pitches. First time the A's have had multiple runners on today against Logan.
Usually you see those numbers right there for Logan Gilbert. He's been so good on the road, and it's usually the opposite with Logan Gilbert. You know, he's so good at T-Mobile Park, and this season he's got sort of the opposite thing going.
He has pitched at Texas, Minnesota, Chicago, and Kansas City. Those have been the road ballparks and opponents for him this year. Julio in towards the gap. He makes the catch, and everybody stays put. Strong throw in from Julio. 1 away. Heim retired.
Good call by Julio to call Ref Snyder off. Julio's got a much better angle on the throw going to third base versus Ref Snyder going away from third base.
Center fielder Henry Bolte. Takes inside. On the ground, JP's got it. Young over to first base, and even with Bolte's speed, I think Naylor got spiked there. He got stepped on. They do get the double play, but Naylor's feeling the effects of it. We'll take a look at that when we come back. Hopefully he's all right. Well, what did happen to Josh Naylor? Our Snoqualmie Supermo wasn't getting stepped on. It was the helmet that hit him in the shin.
You think about Bolte's speed, and that helmet is traveling at the same speed as he is. So it's hitting Josh Naylor's shin with some force. It's like you're driving, you lose a tire. All of a sudden the tire flies by
Hits you in the shin.
It flies by you. It continues
would hurt.
its speed.
I agree.
It continues its speed.
That would really hurt. There's Bolte in center field. Well, the new light rail extension connecting the east side and T-Mobile Park is now open. You can skip the traffic and take the train for a safe and convenient way to get to and from the game. The International District Chinatown Station is just a short walk from the ballpark. Mariners coming back home. Day off tomorrow, and then a homestand beginning on Friday. Randy fouls it back, strike 1. Springs has done a good job so far today with the top 4 in the order.
J.P. Crawford with a couple of hits, but that's about it. You're right.
And hits the bat. 1-2 on Randy. No batter has been hit more often over the last couple of years than a Rosarena. One of my favorite things about Randy and his at-bats that I think fans with great home sound systems can appreciate is that you know how hard Randy swings by how much you can hear his necklace.
I'm going to listen for it now. Oh, I did. I heard it.
He swung pretty hard.
He did.
He has the most recognizably sounding swings in all of baseball.
That was a gift. Thank you, Aaron.
Very welcome. Yeah, that wasn't that great. He's got more in the tank than that.
Yeah. Now the crack of the bat also kind of, you know, muffling it just a little bit.
Disappointing.
I think it's always so funny where all of a sudden halfway through the game and EY is wearing his chain. It's like, I've got the jingle out of this one, or it's just getting too heavy, or I'm getting ready to steal some bases. There really doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason.
No, Randy went through a phase where he couldn't keep the necklace on. It kept breaking.
I think it was just like a faulty clasp. All right, give it to me again.
Now Tom doing great work for us down to the truck, running all the audio for us. Nice necklace, Mike. Tom. 3-2.
He got Julio Rodriguez to swing through a changeup early in this game. Looked like he tried to get Randy Arozarena to do the same, and he got him in his last at bat on a fastball. Where does he go this time?
Pitch number 10. This is into shallow center and a base hit. 10 pitch at bat, and Randy works a knockout of it. Mariners TV is brought to you by your local Ford dealer, home of the F-150, America's best-selling truck for 49 years. And by Virginia Mason Franciscan Health. Make a play for your health with the Mariners' trusted sports medicine provider.
I mean, that at bat right there, 10 pitches that he carved out of Springs. I mean, that could be the difference between maybe him finishing the 6th inning or not.
Up and in. Naylor ahead 2-0. Mariners 3 runs in the first, 2 runs in the fourth. Refsnyder a 3-run homer. Colt Emerson, his first big league triple, drove in 2. Rolled over, and McNeil slide tackles this, pops up a wide throw. Kurtz is able to stay on the bag. Man, McNeil has had a rough series. Mariners are waiting to hear from the video room. They will not challenge this.
I mean, it's hard to pull a guy the size of Kurtz off the bag. That close. McNeil manages to do it, but Kurtz is able to keep the big toe on the bag long enough to get Naylor.
There's Refsnyder. In the air out to right field, Cortez makes the catch. Mariners leave a man to the bottom of the 5th. 5-0 Mariners. The Mariners have more decade weekends coming up, which means more decade pin giveaways presented by KeyBank. Don't miss the Ken Griffey Jr. pin this Sunday. Ichi Meter, July 19th, and Kings Court, August 23rd. Tickets, and you can also see the complete lineup, can be found at mariners.com/pins. Bottom third of the order for the A's in the bottom of the 5th inning. 5-0 Mariners. Jeff McNeil leads it off. A strikeout victim earlier.
When you look at Logan Gilbert's strikeouts today, 5 strikeouts, his pitch count with all those strikeouts still in pretty good shape.
Well, that'll help it too. Quick out number 1. McNeil flies to right. Here's Zach Geloff. When we last saw Geloff, he was playing center field. Mariners, the Athletics had shifted him from the infield to the outfield because of a need, and now they moved him back to the infield. He's playing third base with Max Muncy on the injured list. And he thought he was challenging. I guess he was just adjusting his helmet. That has happened this year before. A couple of times where a guy has just went to adjust his helmet and gets dinged for a challenge.
I wonder if they'll look at that moving forward.
You know, there's also been, I've seen at least once, the pump fake where a guy goes to touch his helmet and then stops, does not challenge, but the umpire sees him start the motion and then calls for the challenge.
Yep, I've seen that as well. And then it's just kind of interesting too, because it's like, well, you went there. It's like, yeah, but I didn't touch it. And it doesn't matter. The wheels have been set in motion and it's challenge. I'm like, is that reviewable? Apparently not.
Like to review the challenge, please?
Yes.
Well, on one hand, you can understand why the umpire, when he sees the motion begin, just assumes that the player will challenge. But obviously, in reality, they can decide halfway through the motion of touching their hat or their helmet they don't want to. So there is a responsibility for the umpires to kind of see it all the way through. And I'm sure that is becoming more of a point of emphasis as we've seen it happen here and there. This is the first year of the ABS challenge system. Robles has been busy, can't get to this one, and that spongy turf with a bounce towards the chalk. A double for Geloff, who runs well. He's in at second with 1 away. That is the first extra base hit for the A's today.
Look at this just inside out swing by Geloff, and he runs so well. And you look at that ball, and we've seen this a couple times in this series. I mean, the ball, I always say, it always tail towards the lines. It'll hit, it'll bounce, and tail towards the line. Think about it. If it's a right-hander, you know, it's slicing away. If it's a lefty, it's hooking. But here, it's really extreme.
Hernandez pokes this out to straightaway left field. That's where Refsnyder is. Refsnyder's first start in left field this year for the Mariners. He has played there quite a bit over the course of his career.
The one thing, when I am playing right field, I'm reminding myself that the ball hit straight over my head, I want to drop glove side, okay? When I'm in left field, I want to remind myself that ball hit straight over my head, I want to drop throwing arm side because the ball is going to tail that way. I mean, ideally, with the ball hit straight over your head, you always want to drop glove hand side because you have the furthest reach. You don't have to reach across your body with your glove. So that's the biggest difference to me between left-handed and right-handed, or left field and right field, if both guys are right-handed.
So something for Refsnyder to think about as he makes the switch to left field today with Robles back with the Mariners.
Just seems like piece by piece this Mariners team is being put together again. You know, we've seen the bullpen all of a sudden get whole. Now Victor Robles is back. You know, there's that outfield. You got, again, Randy not out in left today, but in the lineup. But, you know, you've got Randy in left, Julio in right, Victor Robles. And that was so solidifying for this team to have those 3 guys out there every day. And then you've got the platoon pieces that you've got, and we've seen that work so well in this series. So Cal, Brendan Donovan, last couple pieces here that need to fall back into place for that opening day roster.
Yeah, you're right. There have been a lot of pieces returning, and yet there are still some very notable pieces that are yet to rejoin the ball club. Donovan on the IL for the 2nd time. For Cal, the 1st time in his career. On the edge, 2-2 to Cortez.
And especially with Cal, you know, we talk about it so often with him. It's not just his bat, it's not just his catching, but his presence in this clubhouse and the hole that is there when he's not here.
Gilbert trying to take care of Cortez to end the inning and save Nick Kurtz for the 6th. Big bat looming on deck for the A's. Mariners have done a nice job not letting Kurtz come up with men in scoring position in this series. Down and in. He will bat. Well, Kurtz has been simply the best this year in baseball with runners in scoring position. These numbers are just bananas. He's batting .486, OPSing close to 1,500. But here's the thing. It has not happened enough for the A's. He ranks 104th in baseball in plate appearances with runners in scoring position. Now, part of the reason why he spent a good chunk of this year batting leadoff. But nonetheless, he has been the most dangerous hitter in the game with runners at 2nd and 3rd base. Gilbert's gotten him twice. Struck him out on a fastball and a splitter.
Big swing there by Kurtz, but as you mentioned, you know, Logan's done a really good job on him so far in this game, and he's got 6 strikeouts in this series. Well placed fastball there, high and away, very top of the strike zone.
He is prone to the swing and miss. This time it's skied out towards right center field. Julio camping underneath it, and the catch made to retire the side. Gilbert takes care of Kurtz for the 3rd straight at bat and strands a pair. The insurance you get brought to you by Pimco Insurance. Good to have Victor Robles back in right field. A couple of spectacular catches, robbing Langoliers in the 1st and Jonah Heim in the 2nd.
Yeah, his ability to cover so much ground left and right, it also makes Julio's job in center field that much easier as well. You know, you can cheat a little bit and play straight up in center field.
And the Mariners do a really good job against Jeffrey Springs as they knock him around for 5 runs over as many innings. Only a couple of those runs earned. He does strike out 7, but they chase him from the game. And Kunal takes over pitching for the 2nd time in this series.
Yeah, I mentioned that he has been so good against these Seattle Mariners. I'm talking Springs over the course of his career. They had never been able to score more than 2 runs against him in the 6 starts, and today they hang 5 on him.
Well, it's back-to-back days facing lefties that the Mariners have really gotten the job done. And while on one hand you don't want to make too much out of 2 games on either side, whether it be great or bad, right? But at the same time, hey, the A's made a change in their rotation for a reason. They strategically threw lefties in games 2 and 3 because they know it's the Mariners' great kryptonite so far this year. And for the Mariners to do what they have done yesterday and today and be in a position up 5-0 in the 6th to sweep the A's and take over first place, all the credit to those guys for getting it done. Really impressive.
Absolutely, and these guys have been working so hard behind the scenes. You know, these right-handed bats, you know, they're so frustrated with their lack of success against lefties. But as a whole, you know, the Mariners, we've shown the numbers. They're last in just about every single offensive category when it comes to facing left-handed pitching. So this is a really good step forward in this series, in addition to the fact that, as you said, here they are up 5-0 in the 6th inning and trying to take over first place in the division.
Over to third base, and Robles is retired.
Yeah. And the other thing, Aaron, is, you know, we've talked about is their inability to really get things going. You know, the last several times they've been in this position where they've won back-to-back games and had an opportunity to win 3 in a row, they just haven't been able to do it. And that's what this team is missing right now, just to go on some runs here, string a bunch together.
Cole Young inside out, shoots this into left field for a base hit. It's a multi-hit day for Cole Young.
Good approach here, inside out swing. That ball at the bottom of the zone, 95-mile-per-hour fastball, and he inside outs it the other way. Good approach by Cole.
Here is Pareda. He walked and scored back in the 4th. He gets ahead here 2-0. Off the end of the bat and foul. Now we'll see how the rest of this one plays out today. But the first 2 games of this series for the Mariners have been 2 of the more complete games that they have played, certainly back-to-back in recent memory. They have outscored the A's coming into today 13-3. And leading 5-0 here in the 6th inning. Mariners have had some dynamite pitching in this series in West Sacramento, and the offense has been especially good when you consider what they've done against the lefties. Another walk for Pareda and that patented bat flip. 1 out, 2 on. Well, next week the Mariners welcome the Mets to town for an interleague matchup. You can go to mariners.com/tickets June 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. That'll be the back half of a 6-game homestand, and the Mariners hit the road for a very long East Coast swing to Detroit, Baltimore, and D.C. So that is your best chance to watch the Mariners until we get to about the midway point in June. One out, 2 on for Colt Emerson. Emerson a 2-run triple his last time up, first big league triple.
That triple, you know, really says something about his athleticism. Nobody had to fall down, didn't bang off the wall crazy and shoot back to the middle of the field. I mean, he's got good wheels. He came out of the box hard and is able to get to 3rd. Heard Jerry Dipoto talk several times about it. It's like originally they thought maybe he would bounce off of the shortstop position, be a 3rd baseman. Obviously he's playing 3rd base right now for the Mariners, but You know, his athleticism has remained, and he still has that to be a middle infielder and to hit triples.
Off the hands, Kurtz slings to second, over to first, and this gets away. Meanwhile, here comes Young, and no throw home. It's a 6-0 Mariners lead. Hazer throwing it around today.
Well, Cole Young, because they were trying to turn the double play, he really is able to take a hard turn around third and just ever so briefly hesitates before being able to make it home on the overthrow.
Back to the top of J.P. Crawford. This splits the right side. Emerson makes the turn into third. And a headlong slide. He is safe. That was a strong throw from right field from Cortez, but Emerson able to beat it. Runners on the corners for the Mariners. JP with 3 hits today.
This is a changeup, and JP's got such a great approach. You see him lead with the hands, and then the barrel comes whipping through, gets it through the right side. And I think the only reason why it was even really close at third base is because Colt had to wait and let that get by him into right, had to pause a little bit, and then had to rev it back up to get to third.
First 3-hit game this year for J.P. Crawford. Nice production out of the leadoff spot today. Visit to the mound for Kunal, who was giving up some traffic and not been helped out by his defense behind him this inning.
J.P. Crawford just continuing to put together really nice at bat. You mentioned the 3 hits today. He's got a 4-game hitting streak now. The walk rate remains the highest it's been in a full season. The strikeout rate is the lowest it's been since 2022. So J.P. Crawford, that's why he was at the leadoff position today against a lefty.
Luis Medina warming up. Strike 1 to Julio. Yeah, the Mariners are waiting for Ref Snyder to kind of get right, as he was the leadoff man against lefties this year. Got off to obviously the slow start, so they've moved him down today, batting 5th. So JP has taken that slot, at least for the time being. On the ground over to McNeil. Let's see what happens. Hit the bullseye that time. Mariners leave a couple, but they grab a run, and it's 6-0 going to the bottom of the 6th.
Welcome back here on the field. Brad Adam with the Ford Sports Desk in West Sacramento. We showed you that the Mets were coming to town June 1st through the 3rd, Monday through Wednesday. And that's a good thing because they are a hot mess right now. They've lost 5 straight. They're last in the East. They've scored 2 runs or less in 6 straight games. They're 11 games under 500. And, oh, by the way, they've got 12 players on the IL. If you're looking for a silver lining, Mets fans, trying to hang their hats on something, is that Francisco Lindor and Jorge Polanco, former Mariner, are both starting their rehab assignments. Should not be too long before they rejoin the team. And also in 2024, they were 11 under after 55 games, like they are this year. And then they made an incredible run to the NLCS, had the best record in all of baseball since that point. Will history repeat itself? We shall find out, but a good time to get them for sure right now.
Well, money can't buy you everything. The injured list certainly does not help them. Only the Giants and the Red Sox have scored fewer runs this year than the Mets. Always a lot of drama. One down here is Soderstrom. I think the Red Sox might be the most dramatic team year to year in baseball,
yeah,
and the Mets
That's
right
fair.
there behind them.
Something in the water in New England.
Ball and a strike to Soderstrom with one down and bases empty.
Yeah, Shea Langoliers swung at the second pitch he saw, and Gilbert has just been so efficient with his pitch count. Now at 80 pitches here in the 6th.
Well, when you think about how well the Mariners have pitched against the A's in this series, and you compare it to how much Mariners pitching struggled against the A's in the previous series in Seattle in April when the Athletics took 2 out of 3. A big reason why in both cases is what Langoliers and Kurtz have done or did not do. They combined for 4 home runs in that previous series against the Mariners, and they've been held much more in check here. In fact, the Mariners done a spectacular job against Kurtz in particular. Langoliers does have a home run, but it wasn't garbage time late. Two. Shot deep. This is really punch. Refsnyder turning, watching, and it bangs off the wall and gets past him. Julio is there. It's a stand-up double for Soderstrom. That ball was laced.
This is power v power. 4-seam fastball coming in at 95, leaving it 101 to the opposite field. Soderstrom bangs it off the wall. Refsnyder goes back, and Julio in a really good position to back him up.
Soderstrom now 4 for 10 in the series. He homered yesterday as Heim fouls this back. One and two on Heim. Stark contrast in the hard hit rate for these Athletics against the Mariners pitching first series compared to this one. Over 50% of the balls they put in play were hard hit in those 3 games in Seattle in April. Much different story this go around.
And it's not that Mariners pitchers, shied away from these A's team. You look at their fastballs in the zone. They've been there, but then they've been spinning it and throwing things like that. Like this splitter right here. Logan Gilbert in the bottom just completely drops out of it. And that's the best pitch. You're like, why is that guy swinging it when it bounces? I mean, that ball looks like it's going to be a strike at the bottom of the zone. It's a strike right up until halfway through your swing. You realize, no, it isn't.
Bolte swings and misses. Bullpen is up for the Mariners. Brazzardo is throwing. It's a 6-0 game. Brazzardo hasn't pitched in 4 days. There's a day off tomorrow. So Mariners would love to get him in there. Fresh arm. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hit hard. JP dives, stops, pops himself up, and on a hop with a stretch. And JP Crawford with a dynamite play to end the 6th inning. Mariners have a 6-0 lead. Aaron Goldsmith, Angie Mentink. Reset the storyline of this one, Angie. The Mariners came here with the hopes of leaving in first place, and they've put themselves in a position. If they win today, they sweep the series, they'll be in first place for the first time this year.
Yeah, all it was going to take was a sweep to take over first place. And think about this, and again, it hasn't happened yet, but the Mariners in really good shape right now. But these Athletics have not been swept since their first series against the Toronto Blue Jays. That was back in March.
Randy, hard hit grounder, gobbled up. Geloff with a nice play over there at third base. Takes a hit away from Arozarena. Luis Medina, the new pitcher on the mound, hard throwing right-hander for the A's.
Yeah, he started Sunday's game as the opener for lefty Jacob Lopez. Was his first time starting a game since 2024. Has not allowed a run in 8 of his last 9 appearances.
Here's Naylor.
So now, I don't know if you remember, a couple of games ago, Brad gave us a list to go off of in regards to good play, great play, phenomenal play. And it all is dictated by Perry Hill's greeting of said player as they come off of the field. You know, good play, they get a fist bump. You know, phenomenal play, they get the chest bump. And it's my understanding, the reports out of the dugout, that was a fist bump play from JP Crawford to end the inning.
No.
No, not a chest bump, just a fist bump.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you got to do to get a chest bump around here?
Yeah.
That's not a chest bump? Who's reporting on this?
Brad.
True story. Just a fist bump, but fist bump from everybody,
Okay.
not just Perry. I guess they got higher standards for JP.
Base hit into right field for Naylor. That's his 5th hit of the series.
And we've seen him hit a lot of different things. This is a fastball. He tries to sneak in on the hands at 97. But Josh Naylor, he's so quick middle in.
Here is Luke Raley batting for Ref Snyder.
It was kind of interesting earlier in this game. We saw Victor Robles, right-hander, pitch against Cunell. And I was thinking, but that was like the perfect time. You know, you've got a big lead. Let him have a righty on righty at bat. But it's also good to get Luke in these situations as well.
Geloff playing deep. Raley showing bunt, pulling back. '97 fouled back, 1-1. Curveball gets a swing and a miss to Raley, 1-2. Raley goes down swinging. 2 outs. All right, let's try to find some evidence here. This is very controversial after that great play by J.P. Crawford. Brad has reported that it was a. Yeah, Brad reported it was a fist bump and not a chest bump.
I think I was shielded a little bit from that.
Yeah, there was a little chest bump there. I saw it.
And I figured out why, Perry's just kind of mellow today. They did not take ground balls today for the first time, he told me, since February. Because his rule is if the game is before 1 o'clock, too early. No ground balls at 10:30 in the morning. So no ground balls today. So maybe Perry's a little grumpy and just gave him just a little brush there.
Yeah, I mean, good job for you, Aaron. The disbelief in your voice that wasn't worthy of a chest bump.
And he's right.
And then we started digging.
Fred,
you sound a little down right now.
When I lose a replay to you, I feel bad. Hey, how's that chair working out for you up there, buddy?
Aaron having to stand.
We had 3 or 4 chairs this guy was going through because none were to his liking. He's like Goldilocks up there.
No, it's the Princess and the Pea over here to my left.
But with a bad ending is the only difference.
But I tell you what, guys. Hey, Teresa down here and I, we've reached a nice agreement here. We both have nice seated back chairs, so we're good to go here in Sacramento now.
Well, one of us is watching the game. The other one is trying to find a chair. It's fine. Geloff charges this on the grass. Robles runs well, but he's out by a step. I can stand. It's fine.
I offered my chair, and Aaron would not accept it.
It's time to stretch, and I am stretching. 6-0 Mariners. On to the bottom of the 7th, Mariners in front 6-0 in the series finale. A win today and a series sweep for the Mariners. Now, Logan Gilbert did his job. 6 scoreless in the books, and he hands things over to the bullpen and Bizzardo.
Well, and the bullpen is in such good shape right now. Really well rested, healthy. It's good to see Bizzardo here in the 7th inning.
It is pretty impressive when you think about the time when the Mariners were down 2 key leverage arms in Spire and Brash. It's really impressive how well that Mariners bullpen was able to navigate that time.
They were absolutely, and I think some people were really frustrated with the piggyback, but you think about the fact that in 2 games with the piggyback, they allowed just 2 runs. The 2 starters combined to allow just 2 runs, and at the tail end of this road trip, you gave your bullpen an entire day off, and that's why here in the finale, with an opportunity to sweep and an opportunity to take over first place in the division, you've got Bizzardo ready to go, you got Brash ready to go, and you got Munoz. All 3 of your leverage arms lined up to close this thing out.
Well, and the other part of it, the other night when the Mariners did the piggyback, they scored a ton of runs. There was no decision to be made as to what to do with the bullpen late in that one.
Offense cures all. We think about this Oakland team, and I said it off the rip, Aaron. It's like the Mariners have outpitched them. They've also outslugged them in this series. I mean, this is an A's team that, by and large, wins with their offense.
2-2. Roll over to Naylor. Bizzardo covering the bag. Mariners TV is brought to you by the Washington Lottery. Washington's lottery helps fund the Washington Grant, free money for college training or apprenticeships. Leadoff man retired. Here's Zach Geloff. Thinking about a bunt. Well, if you're the A's, you're saying, man, how good could we be if this guy started to swing it like he did when he broke in as a rookie back in 2023. Hit close to 270 that year with some pop, 14 home runs. But his issue has really been the strikeout in recent years. It's gotten better this season, it seems, for him in that regard. But he was a big swing and miss guy kind of out of nowhere in 2024. He led the league in strikeouts. Strikeout rate has become much more manageable this year, so that's a step in the right direction for Geloff, former second-round draft pick out of Virginia. But a good athlete, a high draft pick, a guy who's shown some defensive versatility. Still just 26 years old. Swing and a miss. Fastball gets past him. 2 down. Logan Gilbert done after 6 really good innings. And Western Washington Toyota Dealers pitching line on Logan today.
Really efficient with the pitches. 91. He had 6 punch outs. Logan Gilbert has had 3 cracks at picking up that elusive 50th career win. He has not been able to do it, but if the bullpen can make this stand up, he will finally get that after 3 tries.
A knee buckler for a strike. 1-1.
That's just absolutely no fair. He throws that sweeper, which, as you said, it just buckled his knees, and then he comes back in and busts him inside. Look at the run on that 2-seam fastball, up and in. You're a mean, mean man, Bizzardo.
'96 in on him. Got him off balance, popped, tough play. Let's see, Young's got a good angle. It couldn't find it, it drops. He lost it. Hernandez is aboard.
Oh, this is frustrating here. We've talked about this being Bermuda Triangle. And you can see Cole, and he pulls back his glove. He's like, I don't see it, I can't find it. All of a sudden, the great big ball of fire in the sky decides to come out. And Robles, meantime, is like, do I have to do everything today? He's been absolutely spectacular out there in right field, but this one drops in no man's land.
Cortez skies this. This is the other way. And Emerson able to make the catch. Those sunglasses on to end the inning. After 7, Mariners in command. Mariners TV is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Jack's new Smash Jack Sliders Munchie Meal with a chance to win the $75,000 prize for Jack's 75th anniversary. Bottom third of the order, Cole Young leads it off.
The bottom of the order's been really impressive today. Cole with a couple of hits, Paredes finding his way on with walks, and of course Cole Emerson checking in with the triple.
Medina out there for his second inning of work. Young reaching a leadoff walk, his third time on base today. That's good to see. On Monday, the Mariners kick off Pride Month with a special celebration at T-Mobile Park. Join in for the Pride Night festivities, catch a game against the Mets, and be part of a community where every fan belongs in the stands. Visit mariners.com/pride to get your tickets. Here is Pareda. He's walked twice today. This game began with Robert F. Snyder's 3-run home run in the first inning. They tacked on 2 more in the 4th, the Mariners did, and then another run in the 6th.
And you love to see it. Score early and then just stay at it.
One. McNeil fighting the sun, and he makes the catch. One out, one on. Colt Emerson batting. 2-run triple back in the 4th inning. Well, he stings this on a line the other way, and Emerson, a multi-hit game.
Well, the triple all by itself was impressive, but the fact that it came with runners on, with 2 outs, lefty on lefty. It's just got such a pretty swing. Just nice and easy. Line drive, and I talked about it with him. Line drive hitter. It's not gap to gap, it's line to line. He can hit the ball all over the field, and it's really impressive that he's been able to do this already at this level.
There is something humorous about Colt Emerson never playing in this AAA ballpark until he becomes a big leaguer.
That is good.
Which is exactly what's happened. JP taken all the way. That is high and wide for ball 1. It is pretty amazing in just a very handful of games that Colt Emerson has played, the boxes that he has checked already.
Yeah. Well, you just start to realize why the Mariners were feeling like they were like holding him down, just keeping them there. I mean, he is so incredibly impressive.
Pitch is called a ball. The catcher is challenging.
It is a strike.
Overturned, it's a strike.
But the other thing too with Colt coming up and playing every day, playing against lefties, playing a position that he has played some, but obviously is not his primary position. He's not doing this for a team that's 10 games outside of first place and projected to finish nowhere near the hopes of a postseason. He's doing this for a team that is trying to get to the World Series. There are great expectations for this team and anyone on it, and that includes a 20-year-old rookie.
And I kept saying, you know, whenever he does get here, don't expect him to come here and be some sort of savior. You know, it's very rare that a guy, especially with as many games as he's played, you know, at the professional level, it hasn't been a lot, for him to just come up here and continue to mash and continue to crush. And that's why what he's been able to do already, like you said, check off a lot of boxes, is so impressive. And he plays a beautiful third, even though it's not his everyday position. And the times we have seen him at shortstop, he's also been incredibly impressive.
Well, it's been quite the start for Colt Emerson. 2 outs, 2 on for Julio, trying to extend an 11-game on-base streak. And no doubt the challenges are coming, right? They come for every player, regardless of how old you are or how long you've been in the big leagues. But gosh, it must feel nice to get off to a strong start and to feel like you're really contributing right away. And there's no doubt that's what's happened for Colt Emerson.
And I'm not saying there aren't holes in that swing, but when you look at his approach at the plate, you understand why he closes up a lot of them.
You know, it's funny. I mean, when you talk about holes in somebody's swing, the first thing I think about is, well, Mike Trout has a very obvious hole in his swing, right? And he's had this incredible, unique career. And so the point is, right, everybody has something, even the best.
Yeah.
Just for Trout, it's like a keyhole.
Yeah. The very tip top, maybe in a skosh.
And he's good enough that when you miss that, he makes you pay for it.
Absolutely. And I said it the other day about Colt, you know, so many times, and this is another point of his maturity. So many times guys get up here and they try to change things, try to do something different. No, do exactly what you've been doing. That is why you're here. And we've seen Colt figure that out much earlier than most do.
Well, this is torched deep left center field and gone. Julio Rodriguez with a bomb. 3-run tank in the 8th. His 8th home run this month.
Julio checking in with the long ball against the A's. He has never had a season without at least 2 home runs versus the Athletics. He didn't have an extra base hit, and then he changes that and puts the Mariners up 9-0 here in the 8th inning.
He has matched his career high, 8 home runs in a month. Done twice before, August of 23, July of last year. He will have 3 games against the Diamondbacks to set a new high water mark before the calendar flips to June. And a 12-game on-base streak. That's the second 3-run home run today for the Mariners. Randy drills this deep out to right field. Cortez is over on the track to make the catch. Julio, a no-doubter.
He's hit safely now in all 6 games against these A's. They were all singles up until this one. This is a fastball that he takes 418 feet. Celebrate.
Well, don't miss Julio Rodriguez 90s jersey night coming up on Saturday. First 15,000 fans will take this 90s inspired sleeveless jersey home thanks to KeyBank. Mariners.com/tickets. Julio just homered. It's a 9-0 Mariners lead. And Cooper Criswell will take over and pitch the bottom of the 8th. Kurtz chopping this over to Naylor at first base. Criswell will let Naylor handle it. And a dangerous bat retired. That was Luzardo, a scoreless 7th in back of 6 scoreless from Logan Gilbert. And now Criswell takes over. Here's Langoliers DHing today. No Brent Rooker in the lineup because of that. And one really ran in on him. Ball and 2 strikes. Well, the Mariners, after really struggling in Kansas City against a not very good Royals team, dropping 2 out of 3 there, coming here to play the Athletics on the road, and they have strung together 3 consecutive all-around games. They've just been checking all the boxes on the mound, in the box, defensively.
And again, this A's team very hard to keep off the board, especially here at Sutter Health.
2 down. Langoliers strikes out. Well, and this is a ballpark where, as we saw in game 1 in particular, when the wind was really howling, the Mariners hit 4 runs. This is a good lineup in a one of the most hitter-friendly ballparks in baseball. So even if you are a good pitching team like the Mariners are, anything can happen here. It's believe it or not, it really is a lot like Coors Field in that regard.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, the fewest runs that the A's have scored in a home series this year so far has been 10 runs. And the Mariners have only allowed 3 runs heading into today in this series.
Cole Young takes this ground ball, and Criswell with a very quick 1-2-3 bottom of the 8th inning.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners.
Jose Suarez for the 2nd time this series, a brief Mariner for all of 1 appearance this year, now with the A's. He's got the 9th. Naylor leads it off. All right, so at first base today, Bruce Dreckman, veteran umpire. You can see his hands. He's got the kind of NFL style wrist straps that go around his fingers. This is how he keeps count. So balls on the left hand, strikes on the right hand. So 2-0. So now he just moved the strap on his left hand to his middle finger. Man, he does it quick.
I need this when I play golf.
Let's see if we can beat him to the punch here. All right, 3-0. Yes.
There we go.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was this a strike?
Yeah.
It was a strike. All right.
Yeah,
so that's why.
that's
Perfect
why.
timing, guys. Thank you, Bruce.
I would need 2 though for golf, you know, just for my snowman. Over in 2, in 6. Yeah.
2-2. Yeah, nobody else keeps tracks of balls and strike quite the same way as Bruce Dreckman. I mean, it makes sense. Good system.
Mm-hmm.
3 balls, 2 strikes to Naylor.
What about when he's behind home plate?
I think it's the same. Reaches for this into right field, and it drops in base hit. 3 straight multi-hit games in this series for Josh Naylor.
Talked about how good he is inside, this one away, and he just throws his hand and then his barrel at this 2-seamer running away from him and drops it into right.
A rare left on left for Luke Raley. He hit for Refsnyder earlier.
This is good to see. I mean, a 9-0 game, why not?
You also don't really have another option.
Don't rain on my parade, Aaron.
We got Canzone, another lefty on the bench, Garver, and then Patrick Wisdom, the 2 righties.
Patrick Wisdom and then throw Dom Canzone in the outfield.
You could.
But again, no need. There's going to be times in this season where you're going to need Luke Raley for whatever reason to face a left-handed pitcher, and this is a perfect place to get him in at bat.
Just his 7th plate appearance this year against lefties. Now, Raley has been just a monster so far this year. He has been crushing righties. He has had a monster start to this year and has been in the platoon advantage essentially every time, and you can see all the good that has come out of that. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes his way. Raley leading the club with 11 home runs, also leading the Mariners in RBIs. In the air to straightaway center field, and this has some carry to it. Bolte tracks it down. 1 out. Mariners TV is brought to you by UW Medicine, where research gives hope to those in need and creates healthier futures for all. UW Medicine, a higher degree of health care. One out, 1 on. Here is Victor Robles. It's this hard, and whoa, great catch. Now we're talking. That's how it's done. That is a big league ball boy right there. Oh. Well, this is what the show's all about.
Yeah, ball smoked.
Just another day, another noon start for that guy.
Mentally, I kept thinking Robles was out. But we made the catch. I'm like, no.
There are
it's okay.
white lines
it's
here.
okay. Yeah, yeah. I was like, no, still at the plate. All right, here we go.
I mean, he is wearing an A's uniform.
Yeah, I mean, no, it just mentally was like, oh, he's just caught. No.
This isn't the Savannah Bananas.
Yeah, that's right.
Robles gets a base hit.
Savannah Bananas just continuing to ruin baseball for kids everywhere in the most wonderful way. But
First and second, Cole Young batting. 9-0 Mariners, and trying to add on even a little bit more here in the ninth. Pulled on the ground quickly. Kurtz throws down, and that's all they'll get, as
Suarez was just kind of watching like, oh, that's a really nice play. Well, maybe I should be over at first base.
Pretty
It's
late
too late.
getting over there. 2 outs, and the inning continues.
That is not who's on the mound right now. No.
Runners on the corners. Naylor into third on the play. Pareda, low liner caught there by Hernandez to retire the side. 9-0 Mariners going to the bottom of the ninth inning. 3 outs away from a sweep. Today's Overlake Medical Center scoreboard. It's all Mariners today, 9-0. They are 3 outs away from a sweep, and it's then the starting pitching in part that has helped lead the Mariners here compared to what the A's have run out. We're looking at the Mariners starters plus Bryce Miller in relief in the piggyback game. 2 earned runs compared to 13. The ERA night and day. Same story for the hits. And we know this, when the Mariners win, it typically starts with the starting pitching. And in this particular series, they've gotten the best of both worlds. They've had plenty of offense and just dynamite pitching as well.
Like you said, it's been the starters, you know, including the piggyback game, but also this bullpen has just done such an excellent job as well. Good to see these Mariners pitchers keep these A's hitters inside the ballpark. Not easy to do. And then I love all of the success that they've had in this series against left-handed pitching. Really good sign for this Mariners team.
Well, a day off tomorrow for the Mariners. It just feels like when the Mariners start the next homestand against Arizona and the Mets, there's so much to build upon from this series. Now they got to keep it going, right? And that doesn't mean they're going to sweep the homestand like they are in position to sweep this series, but there's been what feels like a pretty good corner turned in a lot of ways, specifically with back-to-back really good showings against left-handed pitching.
Especially in this game, but it really in life, you know, you want to make your weakness a strength. And, you know, the Mariners' weakness has been left-handed pitching. And over the course of this series, they have really made their at-bats against lefties a strength.
After a walk to Heim, Bolte is the batter. Well, it feels like so many times this season, as this is foul at the plate, so many times this season when the Mariners have had one element really work for them, like the offense in a particular game, the pitching gives up 6 or 7 runs, and it's either close or a loss. And because of that, when you think about how well the Mariners have hit against the lefties, to have not only that weakness become a strength, but then to have your starting pitchers be just as good as ever.
And to have to face back-to-back lefties, which is not something they have had to do a whole lot this season, but to have your starters be so good. And at the same time, your bullpen.
Calls confirmed, Seattle. No challenges remaining.
It is 1-2.
Ninth inning, good time as any to use that last challenge.
Can't take him on the plane. But also was not especially close. 2-2. Mariners have outscored the A's 22-3 in this series. For a team that hits well and is in a hitter-friendly ballpark. Robles cutting across. Victor Robles can't get there. Time is into third. Runners down the corners. Bolte dumps a single into right.
It's a two-seamer running in on his hands. He gets a little bit tardy. Drops it into right.
Nobody out runners on the corners for Jeff McNeil. Young's got it. Crawford over to first base for the double play. So the Mariners get 2 outs. The A's will not be shut out today. 9-1. A's down to their final out now. The leadoff walk comes around to score. Strike one to Geloff. I think Geloff tried to challenge that and was not allowed. Is that what happened? On the ground quickly into left field. It works out for him. His second hit today. Del Hernandez the batter with 2 outs and a man on. 8-run Mariner lead in the bottom of the 9th inning. Chopping to J.P. Crawford. The short way to second, and the Mariners win. They sweep the A's in 3 games. The Mariners put together one of their best series of the year, and they now stand in first place for the first time this year in the American League West.
The A's finally push one across in the 9th inning, but just really incredible that the Mariners limit them to just 4 runs in this series. The pitching has been spectacular, and then offensively, I really loved what they were doing. I mean, the right-handed bats, we saw a lot of guys grinding out at bats. They get to 2 strikes, working long at bats. We saw them have productive outs, getting sac flies yesterday. Just a fantastic all-around series for the Seattle Mariners and their 3rd straight winning road trip.
Well, the Mariners in first place. This was a very lopsided 3-game series that the Mariners were on the positive end of. 28 and 29 now. Mariners trying to get back to 500, but they are in first place nevertheless.
It's crazy to have a team that's 1 game under 500 be in first place here after Memorial Day.
Well, you're right. The division has not been good. That's an understatement, but the Mariners are trying to take advantage of that, and they're trying to get hot now, and this is a good way to start things. In this series, the Mariners, their 3rd sweep of the year. Astros in the recent road trip, somewhat recent, to St. Louis. Their 3rd winning streak of at least 3 games this season. And their 22 runs scored this series, the most in a 3-game set this year by the Mariners. So between the hitting and the pitching, the Mariners got everything you could ask for.
And they were just stacking them. And, you know, we've used to seeing this team score the runs via the home run, but you know, if you look up in every single night, it's double digits in the hits category. It's really good to see them put together excellent at-bats throughout this 3-game series.
Well, it all started early in this game in the 1st inning because of Rob Refsnyder, and with that in mind, our Fire TV winning moment. Brad?
Thank you, Aaron. Yes, here with Rob. I remember in St. Louis, 9th inning, full count, you challenge when you hit a homer.
Yeah.
1st inning today, full count, couple of pitches you could have challenged. You did not challenge, you hit a homer. So was it just too early to challenge, or you just like the 3-2 count?
Yeah, Jonah's really good at framing back there, so yeah.